What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody. You're pretty excited about it right now, aren't you?
I am.
You're pretty. I bet you're just so giddy.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, there's a couple things, right?
Yeah.
But first off, I do want to start off by saying I just got back from seeing Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a Star Wars trailer attached.
Oh, wow. Who'd have thunk it?
So I think it's safe to say, truly, I mean, we are not getting anything until Celebration.
That's probably true. But hey, I'm open to be surprised. So,
definitely, I think there's no footage coming.
So, yeah, one thing, though, that actually just happened today, the day that we're recording this is, I'm jumping into a little bit of news already, but Bob Iger had the shareholders meeting.
Yes. And
they showed some footage to the shareholders, but they usually get those glimpses that we never get. But,
yes.
There's some descriptions of the footage out there if you guys want a little bit of spoilers. But, if we're going to see that, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily a trailer that they saw. I think it was just kind of, I think I've heard it described as just like actual footage mixed with behind the scenes footage, and it's just like almost like a behind the scenes reel, maybe is what they saw, which we will definitely, I would think, get maybe at Celebration. Maybe they'll hold that off for like a.
I don't know if we'll ever see that, like you said, yeah.
I think D23 or something like that,
or Comic-Con or something.
Comic-Con, yeah. So they may hold up on that.
I think we're 33 days away.
Yeah. So it's pretty,
and I really think now it's like
might as well.
We're getting the trailer and the title reveal in the trailer.
Yeah,
it's happening at Celebration now.
All right.
So anyway, and those of you who haven't seen it, I will say Captain Marvel was good. It's a good movie.
It's a good
movie. Solid, a good movie.
Okay.
Not my favorite.
No,
but
yeah,
good movie.
I wouldn't expect it to.
I'll just complete side note, but my out of the 10 years I've been going to Marvel movies, this was the first one that I actually got Brooke to go to.
Yeah, that's surprising. Well, because now they don't do midnights anymore. Now it's
right. It's earlier,
7
o'clock
showing. Yeah.
So that was really cool. But for someone that hasn't seen any of the movies, she liked it a lot.
Good.
You don't have to know all of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's things that pop up that you're like,
sure.
oh, wow, that's cool, because it's previous
Easter egg stuff.
stuff. So anyway, good, worth to go see. It was fun. It was the reason I brought her up too is like she's a big Disney freak, right? So there were some Disney trailers on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Just no Star Wars.
Anything new?
No, Dumbo.
Yeah.
Frozen 2.
Okay.
I think that might have been it.
No Aladdin.
No Aladdin. But there was Spider-Man, obviously.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
And what was the other one? That was there's Shazam was on there, even though that's not.
Oh, weird.
Just DC.
Yeah.
But really good stuff. Okay, so let's get into some minor news that's hit this past week. First off, like you said, I think we do want to talk about our celebration here in a little bit too. But the big news today, as far as along the lines you were talking about with the shareholders meeting, was a lot of news. Not necessarily a lot of news, but a little bit more specific on the Galaxy's Edge theme park. We've kind of briefly talked about it on here, namely like the rides and stuff like that. But they have released today the actual opening day times, I guess, of when the park's going to open. Now, if you get into more of the details, it's actually not the full parks that are getting open.
Right.
Mainly the ride, Smuggler's Run, which is the Millennium Falcon ride. That is definitely opening these two dates. And the two dates are May 31st for Disneyland and August 29th for Disney World.
Yeah. That's the big surprise.
Which is a huge surprise.
Yeah.
That they moved that up from late fall Then they actually moved it to fall. Now this is actually late summer.
Yeah.
So unbelievable because I'm going to actually be there now.
Yeah, you'll be. Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in. The way it sounds,
I can't imagine.
Because here's the thing: is Brooke, my wife is if you need a vacation, my wife's a Disney travel agent. But she's reading that they're not doing, especially this year, they're not doing fast passes.
Okay.
So it is a first come, first served basis. Now, there is rumors still that they're going to release some high priced tickets that you can purchase to actually be one of the ones that get in. Other than that, you might have to wait in line.
That's been my big question, and is will they have a separate ticket if you just want to go to Galaxy's Edge? Because with all the theme parks, you just buy a Disney ticket and just go and you just make your way through the park to get to the theme park, but the expansion.
Because it's still part of Hollywood Studios.
So, but to get to Galaxy's Edge, you will have to buy a park ticket.
Yes.
Right. There's not like a separate. Okay.
You have to buy a Hollywood Studios
one way in,
park
one way
ticket,
and that's through the park. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But like I said, they, with the demand of getting into this park, the word floating around is that they may for a little while have separate tickets, advanced tickets that at a huge premium. I mean, we're talking like $1,000 or so.
That's crazy
to get into this park, like to bypass the lines and get in, because there is a capacity obviously, and you're gonna have to get in. The capacity fills up. You're gonna have to sit there and wait for a while until someone leaves. Right. It's like the old, go into the club where it's like you're waiting in line to get in the club and it's like full, and you have to wait till people leave to get in. But the thing about it is not everything apparently is going to be open fully on that day.
Right. So far, it's just like a 2-phase process.
Sounds like it.
Right now.
So, still details rolling out what restaurants are going to be available, what shops are going to be available, whether or not you're going to be able to do the droid building on the first day or not, lightsaber building. I don't know.
Yeah, so right now it's just Smuggler's Run, and then the Rise of the Resistance is later.
Is later, which is the big time ride. Apparently, that's like the must see.
Although it's just of course, the Falcon ride's really exciting to me. But they released a little video, that old trailer of that, which is awesome because it feels like a cinematic trailer. It feels like a movie trailer.
It does.
They do a great job of making it feel like the other Star Wars trailers. But you see some footage of guests, these actors, sitting in the cockpit, going through the motion ride. I mean, because that's what I'm still trying to wrap my head around is how, like, we know what the Falcon obviously looks like on the outside, but when you go in, we keep hearing, it's like a replica of the ship. But you got to think like it can't be exactly right because you go into the cockpit. You're in a motion seat. They have several rides at Disney that are kind of like this, but I don't know, is the seat going to move or is the whole cockpit going to move? But then obviously the whole ship can't move. So you go inside. So it's got to be a little bit bigger to me than the normal Falcon. You go inside, there might be several cockpits so they can have several teams going on
Correct.
at the same time.
Agreed.
So I'm just so curious and wrap my head around how that's going to play out.
I think what I'm understanding, it could be totally off here, but the Millennium Falcon that you actually see sitting in the park. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's not the ride.
You don't go into that, you don't think?
I think you go into that as a separate but
it's kind of
attraction.
Kind of connected to
I think you go behind that where it's ported. Okay. Like that's the ride. Yeah. Similar to Pandora, you go into that mountain to get the Banshee ride. I think the Falcon though, that Falcon is I feel like you're going to be able to get on there and look around and see how the layout is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then the actual ride is just the cockpit where you go in because it's 6 chairs, which I don't think is 6 chairs, right? I don't think the Falcon actually is 6 chairs.
Like in real,
like in the movies,
Star Wars real life.
I think it's only 4.
I think that's right. And it looks a little bigger. I mean, there's definitely 6 people in the trailer that they show. Like,
Yes.
you're all
No, it's a 6-person ride.
And you have, because when we talked about, we heard there's going to be 2 pilots, 2 engineers, 2 gunners. I thought, wonder if they're actually got to go up and down like those 2 guns, and like they just have to communicate with radios. Like that would be ultimately cool.
That would be.
And it looks like everybody's in the cockpit.
Yes.
And you're just kind of communicating and talking through there. But that's still awesome.
And it looks like it's fully simulated, right? Like, very similar to how they said they shot Solo, where they had a screen.
Yeah.
It wasn't green screen.
Right.
And it looks like that's what it is. But my question is how does it know? Like it says like it's interactive, where if you turn right, it turns right. So it's like,
man,
that's crazy.
Technology.
Think So anyway, that's it's a welcome surprise today. I didn't realize it was be open when I go. I'm going in October again, first week of October. So, I just don't know what to expect.
You're gonna be able to take 2 steps into it and just look around. All right, that's all I can do. I can't move anywhere else. So. Just breathe the air of Batuu and then leave.
Yes. I'm gonna go back on Slinky and like the top of the tower and just see it.
Yeah, you'll see all the action.
See it all.
Yeah, maybe you'll get to see a loft cat run around. I don't know how it's gonna work. So we'll.
Yeah, and I remember on our show that I said, that because at the time we were thinking about going in Christmas time.
Yeah.
That the worst part would be to go and not be able to get in.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go and I'm not going to be able to get in.
But everybody will think that, then no one's going to go. And then you'll just walk right on in.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe
that's true.
No.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, like Kay said, there's a little video out there that Star Wars put out that's like kind of a Falcon Smuggler's Run trailer, and that's pretty cool.
Yes. Very, very cool.
So if you're watching on YouTube, here's the new book that just came out. Dropped this week. E.K. Johnson's Queen's Shadow. I'm about 3 or 4 chapters in the audiobook.
So this is a young adult novel.
It is a young adult novel. Actually, I don't know if I knew that.
I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I wonder if that's just kind of E.K. Johnson's territory.
I think so.
Showing the audience the pages. It's got like the spaced out.
Yeah, yeah.
Feels like a young adult, but
it's only it's the audiobook's only just over 8 hours. That's how I kind of knew it was.
Yeah, this is about
young adult.
343 pages.
Yeah,
just under 350. Very cool,
man. It's a lot. There's a lot of information at the first few chapters because not spoiling anything, but it literally takes place. Right now, it takes place right at the end of her reign, which is 4 years after Episode 1.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, roughly 4 years after Episode 1. So she's ending. It's the transition, of being a queen to being a senator.
Cool.
So, but what's really neat, which I thought, I guess I did, because most of these novels I don't read like the excerpts, and I don't read.
Right.
I don't really read about what the book's about. I really want to dive into it like a movie because I listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this book is truly more so about her relationship with her handmaidens.
Mm-hmm.
So let me make sure I get this right. Her handmaidens are Sabe, Rabe, Yane, Irte, and I'm missing one.
And Susan.
Oh yeah, and did I say Sabe? Yeah, so it's Sabe. Yeah. It's another S. It's gonna bug me now. That Sabe, Rabe, Sashay. So it's all about her handmaidens. And she references, what's really cool is just in the first couple chapters, she references the scene in Episode 1 when Qui-Gon is looking at her saying, "You need to go to Coruscant," and
when Padme's disguised as her own
Padme's disguise, and I think Keira Knightley
she's the queen.
She's the queen.
Yeah,
and I think, and God, I think she's Sabe.
Yeah,
I think she plays Sabe. But it's cool because you find out again. This is not spoiling because this is in the first couple chapters, really. But you find out that when the transition's happening from, she's sitting there with the new queen. The new queen is asking her to be the senator of Naboo.
Yeah.
She talks about how when they switch places, that they have. Because when they switch places and the handmaiden is faced with a decision,
right?
There's code words,
right,
that she always references, because she always looks at a handmaiden for, even if she's the queen, even if Padme is the queen, to keep it consistent, she always looks at a handmaiden for advice or for direction. So that's how you don't really know what's going on,
right? Yeah, I remember that scene. Because every time you see that, even after you see it the first time, that's obviously Natalie Portman standing there. Because you watch that moment and you always thought in the back of your head that she is telling her something.
Yes.
Because
those words
confirmed now. So
those words of
"We are brave, Your Highness."
We are brave, Your Highness. Mean
to us all, or something like that.
Mean to do what they're asking you to do.
Yeah.
So she's telling her that yes, we're going to Coruscant.
I'm pretty sure that was what was planned in the film, because even Keira Knightley, small role as it was, kind of small but big at the same time. But her reaction to what Natalie Portman said in that scene, like you can tell she sits and thinks about what she just said.
That's right.
And then they go off and do the mission. But,
that's right.
No, that's cool. I'm glad that I love when they find little nuggets like that and throw it in the canon and make it real. So I'm glad they've put that in there.
Yeah, because Padme's sitting there at the table with the queen and the new administration, and when she says, when the queen says, "I want you to be the senator," she says she glances up at Sabe, and Sabe can't say anything at that point, but she said they lock eyes, and she could see what she's telling her. She's telling her that yes, you should do this. Yeah. So it's crazy what I'm seeing as the relationships going on there. So
very cool.
I'm curious, because because you remember in episode 2, that's who was
Rose Byrne's character?
Well, Rose Byrne was Dorme,
right?
Who was the one that got killed on the platform? Do you remember her name?
I can't. I feel awful. I cannot.
Because I can't remember if it was one of those names, or if she was.
Gonna kill me.
Corday. It was Corday.
Something like that sounds right.
No, I remember it's Corday.
Yeah.
See now, so they're whole different people now.
Yeah.
By episode 2, so I'm wondering if that's what this is going to be about. Yeah, that this is gonna show which ones go. Anyway,
cool.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm a huge fan of Padme. Like the character. I definitely want more stories of that. So it's going to be neat.
Be sure to take this book to Celebration, because E.K. Johnson will be there.
Correct.
Get her to sign it.
I will hopefully get her to sign it, and looking forward to Master and Apprentice coming out.
Yes. Oh yeah.
The next Claudia Gray book. I'm stoked for that. So, but I'll pretty much breeze through this. I should be done by next week, maybe. Because I'm getting through it pretty quickly, driving back and forth to work. Okay, so Celebration. Let's talk about Celebration. For one, let's talk about when we're doing our show.
We will be doing our show Saturday, which is the 13th of April, and at 4 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern Time. So 4 p.m. Saturday, April 13th, 4 to 4:45. That is when you'll be able to see and hear us do our show.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, if you follow any of the podcasts out there, everybody's saying when they're doing the time slot, but just going with our day is a packed day. It starts off with Cantina Cast at 11, Unmistakably Star Wars at noon, Authentic History 1, Canon Cantina 2, Force Cast at 3. Then we are right after Force Cast at 4. After us is Fangirls Going Rogue at 5, and then to end the day is the Resistance broadcast, and that's just Saturday. You have you could go to the Celebration's website to see who's all doing their show, but they haven't put the times on just yet. But like I'll just kind of go through. Like Friday, you have Sky Talkers podcast, Tarkin's Top Shelf, Beyond the Outer Rim, Skywalking Through Neverland. Sunday we have Star Wars Minute, Coffee with Kenobi, The Collider, Jedi Council, Rogue Podrons. Monday you have Lords of the Sith. Never Tell Me the Pod. So you have, and I'm just giving a sample, but it's great. I mean, all these podcasts are fantastic. So definitely need to stay for that whole weekend if you can.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about our time.
Yeah, I still think we'll be hopefully in a good spot.
Yeah,
I mean, the only two panels we might be missing that we know of on Saturday, the Jedi Fallen Order, and then just released as well at some point throughout that day is Star Wars Rebels panel. It's like a Rebels Remembered panel.
Yes.
So we might be missing either of those because I can't imagine those will be opening the day. I would think maybe Saturday.
No, but I do feel like those would be early afternoon, possibly like 12, 1 o'clock or something like that,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we can get to those a little bit. And then get to our show. Now, they've been pretty, just so everybody knows, if you're planning on, hopefully you're planning on attending all these podcasts or most of them, and including ours. But they've been pretty adamant about the 45-minute shows.
Yeah, it's gonna be shorter
because I saw some tweets come out from some other shows talking about how in Orlando, like, they went longer.
They did. Yeah,
and
we did. Yeah, we were there.
I felt ours was a full hour.
It was.
Yeah,
it was a full hour.
But because I think they're acting like that someone's going to be there to kind of police it and help.
They'll have a guy. I think our contact was Mark Newbold. So I think he'll be there. There, if he's not there, I guess someone else from either Lucasfilm or Reed Pop would be there just to help make things flowing and to help the podcasters, take their gear down and swap and set up and tear down. So, I mean, it's so far that it sounds like, well, at least on the podcast stage, it's like that's the only part that we are allowed to see. Obviously, it's a lot more smooth than how it did, a lot more organized than last year, and just for the fact that all the communication would be getting with Mark Newbold and the scheduling and everything. So it's been very well. Very well with communication this year, which is awesome.
It's awesome.
And I think we get no, I actually don't know. We don't get like a banner, right? They didn't say that. We did the logo for the website. That was new. They put our logo on the Celebration website.
Oh, they did? I didn't see that yet.
So on the podcast section, podcast stage section of the Star Wars Celebration website, it lists all the shows, and it has everybody's logo too. So our logo is on Star Wars Celebration website.
Wow. Okay. I got to see this. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was that file that you had to prepare for him.
Yeah,
I was thinking like maybe it's, I don't know if they're gonna.
I thought they
print a banner for us, but no, it's for their website, which is awesome.
Nice.
So we're part of it, y'all.
That is
We're
awesome.
part of it.
So there's, like you said, there's other panels also that got.
Yes. So as I said, Saturday. No times, just days. But so Saturday is a Star Wars Rebels panel, and you can find all this on Star Wars' website. They made a press release, but it's just literally like Star Wars Remembered, which has been a big hashtag kind of trend going on Twitter and Instagram all this week. The cast and a lot of fans have been posting hashtag Star Wars Remembered and all kinds of fan art and praises for the show and everything, which has been awesome. So, I'm pulling up the article here. So, Saturday, it'll have Dave Filoni, Vanessa Marshall, who's Hera, Tia Sakar, Sabine, Taylor Gray is Ezra. They, so far, it's just them announced. Although, I know Freddie Prinze Jr. is going to be at Celebration, so I can't imagine why he wouldn't be in that panel as well.
Agreed.
I'm sure Steve Bloom will be there as well. But anyways, the Ghost Crew will be there with Filoni talking about just how the show started, how it became a huge part of the overall canon. And it's so funny because this press release mentions, I'm just going to read it right off the website, although the series is over and there won't be a surprise announcement of a new series during this panel, we'll never forget the characters who deepened our knowledge of the Force, made us laugh, cry, and gave us hope. So they specified that there won't be a surprise announcement of a new series during this panel. And it's just funny because before I read it on this article, I follow Tracy Canobio, who is a publicist for Lucasfilm and a lot of the animation shows, especially and their properties. But someone was asking that question if they will announce a new, like, it's a perfect opportunity to announce the Ahsoka Sabine follow-up show with Ezra and Thrawn.
Yes.
And Tracy Canobio says no, there will be no new series announced during this panel. But then everybody's like, so you're telling me there's a chance? And they're like going off like, sure, you say that now, but you could add that later. But for real, I mean, if you do, like, as all Star Wars fans do, which is awesome, they read into all these things. So when they say there won't be a surprise announcement of a new series during this panel, well, it could be another panel. They can announce it. Maybe they do add it later, not now. Or also, maybe it's not a new series. Maybe it's just a season 5 of Rebels, It's not technically new. Or maybe they announce it as a little animated film for Disney Plus with Ahsoka and Sabine. Yeah. That'd be cool. A series is always cooler to me because it's longer, more time with the characters, but a movie would be awesome. So, yeah, because someone did post a GIF of Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber going like, "So you're telling me there's a chance?"
Yeah.
And then moving on. Yeah, do you think that they would announce something like that?
Yeah, I don't. No, I mean, I think that's pretty definitive right there, especially if it's from Lucasfilm PR.
Yeah,
I do think that's on a lot of people's minds, especially with the whole hashtag, Rebels Remembered going around. It's like, when are we going to know what happens to Ezra? Or,
Well, also just the other day, remember when Filoni posted on his Instagram, or Twitter and Instagram, I think, but I don't know if you saw it, but I'll pull up as I'm talking about it. He, was going along with the hashtag Rebels Remembered trend, but he posted he did an artwork of Hera and Sabine. Super freaking cool.
Oh, he did that? I think I saw that.
On like an icy planet.
Maybe.
What is his Instagram, Dave Filoni? Here we go. And, is it not on his Instagram? Oh, it must be on his Twitter. So he did an illustration just kind of in honor of Ahsoka and Sabine, and the artwork is them two in their, clearly it's set in the time period of the end of Rebels or even post Rebels.
Right there?
Yeah. So you have Sabine in her kind of Ahsoka the White. I'm sorry, yes. Ahsoka in her white garb, Ahsoka the White, kind of Gandalf-y kind of garb, and then you have Sabine. There looks like some icy Hoth-like, winter kind of planets, very, monochromatic paint artwork, and looks like it's winter. So it's all it is. And Dave Filoni's like, this is all it is. It's just artwork. It's not an idea for a new show. This is just me drawing a picture of the girls, the women doing their thing. So it's just, but you gotta think that's in his mind. That's in the back of his mind. He has to have those ideas, and he
knows exactly where it's going.
And if they have a Q&A section of the Rebels Remembered panel, someone's going to ask that, and Dave Filoni's going to have his usual, I don't know, I can't say for sure. And it's just gonna be fantastic.
I love seeing him at panels.
Yeah,
like he gets asked because obviously he knows more than most.
Yes,
I mean almost more than everybody. I would feel like. I mean, he's kind of. I mean, I don't know anybody besides Kathleen Kennedy that may know more. I don't know. I mean, he's the executive producer or executive supervisor of. It seems like of everything that's getting created, right? Now, obviously, he may not be totally involved in the whole, stuff in the novels or comics and stuff like that, but TV show wise, I mean, they're not. They'd be foolish not to use this guy for anything.
Yeah,
I mean, he's overseeing Mandalorian.
Yeah,
obviously, Clone Wars again. He's got a little bit of hand in Resistance, So anything on the TV side seems like he's. It's going to be only a matter of time, I feel like, that he's directing a movie.
Right.
A Star Wars movie.
Yeah, he's already inching that way with Mandalorian live action stuff. So
that's why I think it's so cool when you see him at panels, because he gets asked these questions and he knows the answers. Yeah. But he can't say anything.
And usually it's a little kid asking the hardest question.
He
just can't. He just
has this big smile on his face.
Yeah. He's great at talking around those kind of things, but it's just we all know, just tell us.
Totally.
But anyways,
That's
so
great.
that's Saturday. Sunday is the Clone Wars panel. So we'll once again get
definitely doing
Dave
that.
Filoni. And I mean, they pretty much say that they're going to show some episodes from the new season, which we all assumed. So Sunday, Dave Filoni and special guest to celebrate.
So there's no times yet, right?
No times. Celebrate the return of Star Wars: The Clone Wars and share an exclusive sneak peek at things to come. So they will, obviously they're going to be showing some episodes from season 7. Technically, is that what this is? Right? That's what they're calling it.
Season 7. Yeah.
And then Monday, April 15th, Resistance will have a panel. So they're going to look back at the season 1 finale and preview of second season. So they will most likely show the first couple episodes probably of season 2. Executive producer Justin Ridge, Athena Portillo, Brandon Allman, and members of the cast. So Christian Sean, Susan McGrath, Scott Lawrence, Myrna Velasco, and Donald Faison will be there.
Nice.
And yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I'm glad they're we're starting to see now panels for Monday because it's starting to feel like, okay, it's a day where you should be going. You have the Phantom Menace panel and you have the Resistance panel. So
yeah, I'm just glad that we're actually not very far away from home now. So it's because normally we'd be probably flying out first thing Monday morning or Sunday night.
Yeah. If
we were down in Orlando or something like that. But, now we got a chance, depending on what time that is, we can go hit stuff up like that and then drive back. No, it's great. And I think we should acknowledge it to everybody that's listening to this. Unfortunately, we're not either of us aren't fully caught up on Resistance.
Correct.
I definitely think I'm going to try to do my best this weekend because has it been announced? I haven't even seen. Has it been announced when the finale is?
When I thought it was, I think it's already happened, hasn't it? I mean,
no, I don't think so.
You're gonna feel horrible.
No, it's not because it was just a new episode this past Sunday.
Gotcha.
And
there's a date.
Finale airs March 17th.
Super close.
So a week from this Sunday,
will
be the finale. So it seems like there's only probably 2 episodes left. Probably the last one might be more than one season. Cool. Anyway, so I'm definitely gonna get caught up because I think it's gonna, at least what I've seen so far a little bit. I think the trend is gonna start getting into like Clone Wars, where it starts getting a little darker, maybe, or a little.
That'd be cool. That'd be great.
So we'll see, but I'm only. I mean, I'm 4 or 5 episodes behind, I think. So I'll catch up for sure before the finale, and definitely before we get to Celebration. So
yes. For Celebration, there always more guests are being announced. So we have Paul Bettany coming, Dryden Voss from Solo. We have Riz Ahmed, Booty Rook, and then Hermione Corfield, who plays Resistance pilot Taliesin Lintra from The Last Jedi. She will be in Chicago as well. So you can still purchase autograph tickets on the Star Wars Celebration website because you do, if you haven't been to Celebration before, you do need to buy. Typically, you need to buy a ticket to stand in line for the big names.
You do.
So be sure to get that and pre-order.
And you better bring some stuff to sign, or else you have to buy that too.
Oh yeah, no.
Because usually they have it laid out in front of them, and you can kind of pick us.
And a lot of those celebrities, especially if they're like voice actor celebrities, if you don't have anything to sign, they'll like record a message for you.
Yes,
like a voicemail thing, which is cool. We
Totally.
did that. We had some guys do that for us, some of the Clone Wars guys.
Yes,
right, because we
were waiting in line.
Yeah, we were waiting in line for George Lucas Celebration 5, and then I think it was James Arnold Taylor.
Yeah,
and was it D. Bradley Baker
and Tom Kane?
Yeah,
it's the first time we met Tom Kane.
Like I wish I can relive that moment.
I totally.
I was like so half cognizant of what was happening because I was so tired. And I saw those guys there, like, oh, that's super cool. It's the Clone Wars guys. But now, like
plus it was so new still.
It was. That's the whole thing. It's like now, like everything that's happened and how much I've been following those guys' careers now, and like
agreed.
Just following their lives in a way because they're on social media. It's like now, if I saw them again, I would just bend over, just bow to them,
kind
of thing. So it's
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic. Those
Yeah,
guys
because
are
it was
awesome.
exciting to see them. Yeah, but we were just like, oh, those guys that voiced the Clone Wars.
What do
but
they
now
say?
they're so iconic.
Exactly. Like, what do they say? Like, they were in their hotel and they saw a big line. Like, oh, let's just go over there and say hi to those guys.
Yeah,
and,
so Celebration 5, the line for the Lucas thing was
Yeah.
outside.
right.
So it was July, so it was obviously warm enough.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was just concrete and
Concrete. Everybody had a pillow and a sheet
Yeah.
or something, But so the hotel that they were staying in was right across the street, and they said that they saw this line and they had to come out. And we were probably like 90, 100 people deep.
Less than 100.
But and because we got one of those special T-shirts, that was really cool. It was like the orange Death Star, shaped of an orange, Florida orange. But these guys came out and took pictures, signed autographs. We had them record a special,
a voice message for somebody,
to
right?
Hickman, to John. In the voice he did a voice of Obi-Wan, right?
James Taylor.
Yeah.
I think he did, yeah.
I mean, they were just cool guys. Now, to be honest, I not to knock them, but it's like I'm not sure they would do that now because they would get swarmed.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
I bet. Yeah, I like to think they would still do it, but yeah, you're right. They would get
like a lot,
absolutely swarmed.
Yeah, a lot more people would be like, "Whoa!" Crowding more than they were, even though they were still. But it's like it was still. I mean, that was Celebration 5. I mean, I don't know. That was only a year or two into the Clone Wars. That was only like the first or second season.
Oh, really? Was that? Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure.
You're right
because that was Celebration 5, which was I think
2011,
2009, 2010.
I think it was like 2010 or 2011.
6 was 2012.
Okay, so it was like 2010.
10, I think.
Yeah,
which was only like 2 years into the year. I mean, we didn't even have Darth Maul yet. I don't think. It's like it was still pretty early. Anyway,
very cool.
But
I forgot all about that too. I just remembered like that was so awesome.
Man, it was such a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's and honestly, that's what Celebration is all about, man. Is doing things like that, being around that community. I mean, everybody was there for one reason. They wanted to wait in line to see George Lucas, and that we the last couple of years ago when we went, it was like we knew we had to sleep on not the concrete, whatever the tile was inside
the
this time get in to see episode 8, and then Ryan Johnson came through there, I mean, you get rewarded by being committed, you know what I mean?
And usually J.J. Abrams, he did it last time. He brought pizza for everybody.
He did, yeah.
So that's kind of Cody's said this a lot. Like that's like his ultimate goal. It's like he just wants pizza from J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that chance this time.
Now you weren't at that celebration where we met JJ.
No,
that was Anaheim. I think
walked right past you there. Yeah.
Well, no, he came right by us.
Yeah.
So because I was so mad because me and Chad were on one side. He was getting an interview. Him and Kathleen were getting an interview done right in the middle of the floor of the convention floor.
Right.
We were on the backside thinking, okay, he's going to come over here. We see Charles directly across the way, and he's like, come over here. And we're like,
you get a chance.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We did, and and I was thinking, like, Charles, if he goes over there where we were, I'm going to be so mad. So JJ gets done, and he's bolting off, but all of a sudden, I mean, completely out of his own decision.
Yeah.
He jumps away because he had security with him. He jumps away from them, goes under the ropes, and walks right over to us. And he's like asking for, it's so weird because he asked for a marker because he was on the side. We didn't have anything. Yeah. So we're like, and he looks at it, he's like, what? You don't have anything? So we just like shake his hand and then he runs away. It's like he walked right over to us. I was so freaking dumbfounded. I'm like, what the heck do we? And then we looked at each other like, why don't we have markers?
Yeah. I never thought I would need them, but I need like 5 now. So you should always keep markers on.
Oh, we will. I will bring a Sharpie next time. But
he'll remember you.
Surprisingly, or what was funny, the irony of this is when we saw Ryan Johnson, what he brought his own Sharpie, and he was just
signing everybody's badges.
Everything. But so I was like, yes, didn't need one for that.
That's good.
Anyway, it's I mean, just listen to us. It's like this is what Celebration is. So fun. It's so exciting. This being such a big year, I can't wait. That's
pretty much all Celebration I think that I've got. They're continually updating their website. So always go to Star Wars Celebration's website and see what's happening.
33 days. Unfortunately, if you don't have tickets yet, you've got to probably get them on eBay or something. But if you can get there, it's going to be a fun time. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people probably bought extra tickets to sell them. Unfortunately, because they didn't have they had a 10 ticket limit, I think, per purchase. So it's like, unfortunately, there's definitely people out there trying to make money off of it. But I mean, it's kind of their right to do. But it's hopefully you can get a good if you missed out on them when they first went on sale and you want to go now, hopefully you can get them for a good price. Just remember, if you want to gauge it, if you don't remember, the 5-day ticket was $150.
Right.
So if someone's trying to sell you it like for $400, you might want to just think about it. Yeah. And the closer it gets, because to be honest, when we went to Anaheim or even when we went to Orlando, we didn't buy them. I don't think we waited till eBay, right? I think
I didn't.
You didn't,
but I think I waited a while. They did not sell out as fast as
they did here. Yeah.
So no, I waited a while.
Yeah, I know Anaheim. When me, Chad, and Charles went, we waited literally till like a couple weeks before, and we got our badges. We got our 4-day badges for like $100 because, fortunately for us, like there were people that found out that they couldn't make it. And they wanted to go, but then they were just trying to resell their ticket.
Yeah.
So we got it for $100. But anyway, it's good. It's a good Chicago. Hopefully, it's a little more centralized area. So that's why I think it actually is such a big attraction right now. I think people can get to it pretty easily. Big airport right there. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to. I guess the only topic I was kind of going to bring up a little bit, I wanted to expand, and I'm totally throwing Casey a loop here. I wanted to expand a little bit more on Padme because I think, again, reading this book, I feel like once I get through this book, I'm really gonna want to know more. I see, you can tell by the cover, it's episode 1. It looks like episode 1 to episode 2.
Right.
So I feel like it's going to fill in that entire 10-year gap between 1 and 2. So I might not have too many questions. I don't know if that's what I feel like that's what the intent is. Is like let's tell that story of the Queen between 1 and 2, because obviously from 2 to 3 we have the Clone Wars series, and of course she passes. But that's what I wanted to bring up is I just kind of wanted to throw that question out to talk about a little bit. Should she have died in episode 3? Because there was talk. I think there was a storyline where George at first had her survive, because obviously there were those scenes that got cut about the whole formation of the rebellion, in a sense, the early stages of the rebellion with her and Mothma and Bail and a couple other senators. Because that would have been interesting, right? I mean, to know that, to have her, even if she had to kind of still hide her children, like that could have still happened. Like Luke still could have went to the Lars. Bail could have taken Leia still, but she could have went in hiding and was secretly forming the rebellion. Like, I think that would have been because do you remember? Because the reason I brought it up is because I keep going back to, I think it might have been the art book of episode 3 so, but there's artwork out there where Padme goes to Anakin on Mustafar, and she has a dagger.
Yeah, that
right, because she's going to kill him.
Right. And that's even come out again in, I don't know if it was a podcast or just an interview where someone from that film came out and talked about that plot line as well. Yeah, but I think George Lucas thought
it was too dark.
It was too dark. Or like she would never do that. She would never think that Anakin was at that point to where she had to kill him.
She couldn't kill him.
Yeah,
she couldn't. go through with it. Yeah, but I think but I would have, but that just made. But I think part of that too was that the discussion was that she survives and goes on to be a part of the beginning of the rebellion, which ultimately, I mean, this just ties in so perfectly. I feel like to the whole struggle. You know,
that would be really cool. But you know, you have to think though of why she, again, with all these other problems with doing prequels, where are they in the original movie?
Yes.
So that would have to be explained. You'd think she would have to die or something like that
at some point, yeah.
You know, in a battle, but that would add so many good stories. You would think with Leia when she gets older and she becomes part of the rebellion, and you would see like Bail introducing to her. Maybe Leia doesn't even know that's her mom. Like he's known she's known her for a while.
Exactly.
You know, obviously she can go by the same name. She doesn't have to go in that much of hiding, you would think. So, yeah, Padme Amidala, General Amidala, whatever she would be in the rebellion, she's your mom or something like that.
And then you got to think too, she would have possibly done more stuff with Ahsoka because she would have, she known Ahsoka. And Ahsoka was as Fulcrum, I mean, there's a lot of storyline there you could have done.
That'd be cool.
But it's like, now, do you remember? Let's see. Did she know that Anakin's name was Vader?
Padme? I don't think so. I don't think. Well, at least we never saw that.
Yeah.
That
so see, that's a whole nother storyline. Is that did she even know? Would she have known ever that he was Darth Vader now?
Yeah, I mean, gosh,
right?
Somebody out there needs to do like an Elseworlds.
Yeah,
totally. There used to be some of those stories back in the old EU days where they would take one little decision like that in the movies and see what happens in the opposite direction. So I think one that I remember flipping through was Vader. What if Vader didn't die at the end of Jedi?
Oh,
what would happen?
Yeah,
so he's whatever, brought
a good
back.
Guy now?
He's kind of a good guy. He's got white armor, instead of black armor, and he's with the Republic now, New Republic, I guess now. But so yeah, it would be really cool to see. Yeah, if she didn't die, what would happen? I think that. I mean, heck, it's fan fiction, so I might even do it myself.
Yeah,
that'd be so fun to write. I think to figure out what would happen.
Because I'm curious, because it kind of makes you think too. Like if Obi-Wan left Anakin to die. Mm-hmm. If he did, what if he didn't know that he had become Darth Vader? Like, like he didn't know, because he only knows that really because they saw that hologram, right?
Right.
Rise, Vader, Lord Vader. If they had never found that out and he left him to die thinking that he died, and all of a sudden, I mean, he went in hiding. So who knows when he would have heard of a black figure named Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. I think the name is the only thing that tied the two together. Like, he survived, and now he's living in this suit. It's like, I mean, I guess through the Force, maybe he could have figured it out.
It's one of those things where he would assume, like Padme, I think she would assume maybe that was Anakin, but she wouldn't know for sure. Maybe she wouldn't even want to tell anybody.
Yes.
Like, hey, I think that's Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
My husband, that kind of thing. So that would cause a lot of conflict. Very much like why it wasn't revealed until much later that Vader was Leia's father to the public. I mean,
yes,
in bloodline.
That's right.
Because what would the public do to that with that knowledge? So
exactly.
It's so many stories.
Yeah, but and I like those. And I think we'll eventually get a lot more of those. The time between 3 and 4, with more of Bail and Mothma. Yeah. Again, and maybe that's we talked about it, and thankfully, or not thankfully, but we appreciate somebody. One of our listeners mentioned on one of our YouTube watchers commented on our Obi-Wan thing, saying that they listened to a bunch of storylines from other podcasts and loved our ideas the most. And I think again it goes back to an Obi-Wan series could show that stuff, that he goes off world, still meets with Bail, still meets with Mothma, and you see that early formation. Now that would be cool in honor of Padme. Mm-hmm. Let's get together and do what she had taught. Now I still wish they would put those scenes back in episode 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because it's so significant now. I feel like, especially with her character.
Yeah,
you know, to really, because she's the one. You know, she's the one that was always. It's funny because she always had opposed. The war and the battling and the stormtroopers or the clone troopers, whatever. And that one scene, which is phenomenal, I feel like in episode 3, where she's like, you know, maybe we're on the wrong side, and she realized she was, like something's not right here, you know. And if you added those scenes back in, it's like she was the beginning of the rebellion, you know. And
that's true.
I just so I mean I get that she has to die, you know, I get that, but it would have been cool to see somehow live on. Now whether or not, obviously, you know, Natalie would have came back and did anything, but I think, you know, in the books or in comics, you know, you could go down that road. Anyway, that
would have been awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I'm glad we're in this era of the current canon expanding universe of bringing these prequel stories and these prequel characters back, because people, I think, for the longest time forgot about Padme and about her impact. You know, right. Obviously, of course, Leia is the is the icon of Star Wars. You know, but we can't forget there's so many more. Now we have a great book, the Women of the Galaxy book, that has like dozens more that I don't even know of from comics, you know, and other characters from the books. But no, I think for a while I've been kind of saying it's like, well, we cannot ever forget Padme for what she has kind of brought in her legacy, and I think we feel that in Bloodline as well, because at that point Leia does know Padme is her mother, and I think the legacy of what Padme has done is carrying through Leia, and therefore now the Resistance. So it's there, but not quite. So hopefully this book, Queen's Shadow, hopefully as you, and I will read it as well, but as we get through it, that comes out more. But definitely need more stories with her.
Like I just thought about, like, I would love somehow maybe episode 9, like if Leia had a picture of her. Yeah. Like that would be freaking awesome to see.
Yeah. What was that comic where
it was Leia.
But she didn't know that Padme was her mom at the time,
I don't think so.
Right?
No, I don't think so.
And then she just kind of felt her presence there. Oh,
it was like a mural or something of the Queen, right?
Yeah.
And she felt familiar, something familiar about her. Yeah. It's awesome. But if she had a picture of her, you know, knowing now that'd be incredible to see or something like that. And very similar to, very cool, to E.K. Johnson's Ahsoka book, voiced by Ashley Eckstein. Yeah. This is voiced by Catherine Tabor.
Yes.
So it's cool hearing Padme's voice tell the story of Padme. So it's really, really good.
Love that.
Really good.
Oh,
and it's like I'm watching Clone Wars. It's really cool. Okay, so that's really it for us this week. Last couple side things. I want to give a shout out to one of our new subscribers. Funny little story I did, in case I haven't told you about this yet. But, so me and my wife we actually started our own Disney podcast to kind of promote her business, and I built a little website through GoDaddy for her, which is pretty cool, pretty intuitive. It's pretty neat, pretty easy. But anyway, I had a couple hosting issues going on, so I called GoDaddy for customer service. Right?
Yeah.
This was Sunday, or this is Monday night maybe, or Tuesday night, and I get this really nice gentleman on the phone, and we start talking, and he, you know, obviously I told him the URL, which was called Sharing the Mouse, and then he looked. I guess he was looking at all of my domains. Yeah. He was like, because he saw Rise of the Troopers, I guess, and he's like, "Oh, you're a Star Wars guy." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars guy." Well, we just start talking because we're waiting on stuff to get done. He's a huge Star Wars. He's a huge collector.
Oh, nice.
He has, apparently, he's saying how he's got just rooms full. He collects helmets,
Okay, cool.
like masks,
Any
helmets.
kind- yeah.
So
Any
you can
character.
imagine you can imagine how many Mandalorian helmets are out there.
Yeah.
So he got an obsession with, and then with the Mandalorian come out, he's like, I'm hating the Mandalorian coming out because
Yeah.
now I'm gonna have to get every helmet that's in that show. Anyway, it was really cool. We had a great conversation. I told him about our show here. He immediately went on and subscribed.
That's awesome. That's great.
Really appreciate that. Just wanted to give his name's Adam over at GoDaddy. So thanks for.
Well, GoDaddy's always had great customer service, but
They
now
do.
that's they've jumped up a notch now, even more.
Yeah.
But they've always been pretty well.
They have
responsive,
been. They always have been.
Cool.
So anyway, he and it's funny because he asked me, he's like, "Are you on Castbox?"
I don't know.
I was
I've
like,
heard of that.
I was like, I never heard of Castbox, but we're on Castbox.
Oh, okay.
So that's how he's subscribed.
So they just pull feeds.
They pull the feeds. Yeah, they
Okay.
pull the feeds. So I think we're pretty much on everything out there now. So, but anyway, thanks Adam. The last thing I want to mention, we're still going to be kicking around ideas for it, but a couple of years ago, if you remember, if you were with us, we did a kind of our journey to episode 8 series,
Yes.
right? Where we cut some fan trailers of all the movies based on the trailer music from episode 8. We did commentaries of all the movies. Now we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Although we are going to be. We did agree. We a few of you have asked for it. We need to do a commentary for episode 8.
Yeah,
for sure. And Solo, we still do have to
Yes.
do those 2 movies, which we will get done. But this year, I feel like with what I think we should do is what we talked about planning on doing is we're going to do another journey to episode 9, but it's we're going to just, since episode 9 is the culmination of the Skywalker saga. We're going to basically each month starting 8 months before, which is roughly, I think it's April, we'll start. We'll just focus on each episode in chronological order. We'll kind of dedicate that month to that movie, that film, as we lead up to episode 9. So so April we're going to focus on episode 1, and rightfully so. It's the 20th anniversary. We'll deep dive into episode 1. Obviously at Celebration we may not, depending on how much we have to talk about.
Yeah,
with what we see there, which could be the episode 1 panel. We don't know when that's happening yet.
Well, that's Monday. No, that's Monday.
Oh, that is.
That's definitely Monday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is Monday. You're right. So we won't have seen that yet.
Right.
But I'm sure we'll have an episode 9 trailer to talk about anyway.
Yeah, man.
It may be Mandalorian.
I hope that happens.
I feel like it's gonna be Monday morning or Saturday morning.
Yeah, I hope Friday is episode 9, Saturday is Mandalorian.
Yep.
So we have all that to talk about.
Yep.
Ah.
So we'll miss Clone Wars though, unfortunately.
Yes.
That'll be Sunday. So anyway. But anyway, we're going to do that. So obviously episode 2, 3, 4, all leading up to episode 9, which will be this December. Oh my gosh. Can't not wait. All right. So we appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Go to InsideTheForce.com to check out all the shows. Again, we're on YouTube now. All the episodes are videoed on YouTube. If you want to go watch us talk about this stuff, that's us right here. Yeah. Other than that, Casey's Kryptonian 1138. I'm D Cottingham 21. We cannot wait to see you and meet you at Celebration. Come say hey. We've got all kinds of stuff. Trust me, we got all kinds of stuff that's gonna be given away out in our 45 minutes to talk to everybody. So come see us 4:00 Saturday at Star Wars Celebration. Thanks everybody. For Casey Cooley.
It is clear to me now that the Republic no longer functions. I pray you will bring sanity and compassion back to the Senate.
Nice. It did. Listening to this did make me want to just pop in episode 1.
Right?
I'm telling you.
There you go. Oh,
yeah, it's so good. Good choice.
She's good.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. He's Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. May the Force be with you.